Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Saturday edition of the Coach's Corner. We will be bringing you a lot more Saturday editions of the Coach's Corner as the season progresses. Right now, we're at Montclair's Whitman Field, and we're happy to be here. Our special guest today is Jermaine Johnson, head coach of Montclair Mounties, Montclair High School, and we're looking forward to speaking with him in the next few moments. Hopefully, you'll get to see and know who Coach Johnson was, get his experience. He was a former head coach over at Belleville High School before taking the job here at Montclair, and we're looking forward to speaking with him about his last season, some of the things that happened during the highlights and lowlights of the season so far last year, and looking for what his expectations are for this year as well. So we look forward to talking to him as we go forward into the 2023 season. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages. And oh yeah, get your popcorn, or I should say get your coffee, breakfast, and have a seat. We'll be there. Let's go have some fun. KSPORT. Welcome back, everybody. We're back at Whitman Field, hallowed ground for the legendary home of the Mounties, Montclair High School, long-standing and probably one of the famed and storied programs in the state of New Jersey. With me right today, in front of me right now, is the now head coach. He was new last year. This year, he's actually getting his start and get his feet wet a little bit further in. Jermaine Johnson, thank you very much for joining us here at the Coach's Corner, KSPORT. Coach, right off the bat, you had a great season starting off. However, it was foiled by and marred by some controversy. What was it about the whole situation that kind of brought about the whole situation to a point where you were clicking at 5-3 last year, even won the playoff game against Ridgewood? But then the whole thing got negated because of those ineligible player, was it? What happened?
Well, it was an oversight, administrative oversight. When we got the call, and it happened to be something true. So it was one of those deals that had nothing to do with the people that were here, but it's something that was just missed. From my understanding, it does happen. Unfortunately, it happened here to us last year at a terrible time. But again, when things like that happen, man, nobody wants to see anything like that happen to kids.
Right.
The seniors that their last year playing.
Right.
And it's unfortunate.
Right.
But and yes, we were clicking at the right time when all this happened. I truly believe we were the dark horse in that bracket. Right. And and teams knew it. Yeah. So things happen for a reason. For whatever. It was an oversight, and obviously it's never going to happen again. And then now it's time to move on from it.
Well, Coach, speaking of moving on, prior to you taking the job here, you were at Belleville High School. Yes. And Belleville was at that same point before you left. There were a lot of other things that was going on at Belleville that caused you to take the job here. Do you think that the difference in the environments gave you a better leg up in support?
I mean, when I was at Belleville, there was, everything was good in Belleville. I don't know what went on prior to me getting there. We had a bunch of kids that was willing to play. They wanted to learn how to play football. We were very successful over there at Belleville. I think, I couldn't ask for nothing more than those guys,
Yeah.
Coming over here, obviously, this is way different,
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference. Listen, tradition is here, top winning school in the state of New Jersey. I mean, listen, it's here, and the aura about this place and the history about it, it's amazing, And listen, I'm from the next town over. I know what it is. I know what time it is and all that stuff, But it is a blessing to be here. You know, my administrators, my co-workers, the town, the Board of Ed, obviously our kids too. Embraced me here, the staff. So it's good to be working with tradition and keeping up the givings that's keeping us here.
So let's talk schedule since we're actually on the point of that. At the point, we're looking at your first game is coming up in 2 weeks. The week 0 against Clifton, who's been chomping at the bit at getting revenge at everybody, including Montclair. They got their revenge against East Orange last year. Now they're trying to get at West Orange and Montclair to add to their wall for their hunting wall. What can you say about that game, since that's going to be the first game on the table?
Listen, I know that the whole coaching staff, I'm very good friends with. Me and the head coach played together at Montclair State. I consider him one of my brothers.
Thank you. Yeah.
We know what time it was. Ralph called me up and he was like, "Yo, what do you think about getting this first game on?" I was like, "You know what? I think it'd be perfect for both programs."
Right.
I believe we're up and coming. We got some young boys that are trying to step up to the plate. I know what Ralph, I know what the Clifton, I know what they bring to the table. I know how tough they are, and I want to. That's going to be a great test for us. Right out the bat.
Right off the gate.
I want to step with the grueling schedule that we have. Nothing like getting, seeing who's going to get punched in the mouth, or we'll punch somebody in the mouth, and hopefully we'll be punching them in the mouth.
All right. So first game of the season is week 0 against Clifton. So you got Clifton, you got West Orange next, which is against legendary coach Grant there. Then you have Nutley right behind it. Grant, you guys play them in the Zone 6 Challenge. Is that correct? Over at the new stadium in Patterson?
Yes, at
Hinchcliffe?
Yes.
And then Union City on week 3 and Livingston on week 4. That's not even a barely. Well, yeah, that's a gauntlet. You got a heck of a schedule in the first 4 weeks alone, right? Then I looked on the back end of that schedule, and you got a double gauntlet going. What's happening here? You got East Orange is coming up in week 3, or what is that? Week 5.
Yeah.
Week 5. Irvington, Ridgewood, and then after that, you got Columbia. Now that's somebody that I just spoke to them yesterday. They looking to bring it to you guys at the same time. But I want to know, you have a double gauntlet. I've never seen a double gauntlet in a full schedule like this before. What happened? How you managed to do that?
I mean, listen, I can only play with the schedule they give me. But listen, if we want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Right.
So we're not backing down to anyone,
Well, I think the theme of I saw the theme on the back of some of the coaches' T-shirts is unfinished business. What is that all about?
Well, I mean, considering how the season ended last year, obviously everything's in the past for us right now. We didn't quite end the way we wanted to end.
Right.
So therefore, that's where you get the unfinished business.
Right.
We have a lot of business to take care of.
Right.
And some things that we hold very personal to us within the coaches and the kids, the players. Okay.
Now you have a couple players that came in, transferred in. One being Malachi Lewis. He was a honorable mention last year at Morris Catholic, and now he's here with you guys. What is the uptick about him? Because he's 6'1", 6'2", and he's really got proven to be an accurate arm. What happened? What is it about that talent?
I mean, listen, Malachi is a talented young man. Malachi brings something a little different to the table we haven't had here in a long time. Malachi is definitely that type of kid. He's a game changer, and with the tutelage and knowledge of our coaches that we have on our staff here, he's another one. He's a sponge. He's listening. He's very coachable.
Right.
And he's a leader.
Right.
He may not be a captain, but he's a leader of our team as well too. You don't have to be a captain to be a leader.
Right.
So he definitely took care of business. He's taking care of business inside that locker room and on the field as well.
And as well in the classroom too. I understand he's an AB student. Is that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Malachi's going to have some Ivy League offers at the end of this year as well too. Not just for his grades, but obviously on his talent on the field too.
Talent on the field, but also a Power 5 player if he chooses to go that route as well. Let me ask you this question, Coach. You have you have ideals here set in, from going back to your early days in college, in coaching. Can you care to expand on that, some of those ideals for us?
I'm sorry.
I said you had some ideals that you was teaching your players. I've overheard something like being accountable for what what they do on the field as well as off the field and inside the classroom and within the community.
I mean,
can you expand on that?
Yeah. So what we preach here is obviously you can't, if you don't take care of business in the classroom, you can't take care of business out here.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts at home. You got to do right at home. Get up first thing in the morning. Get up, make your bed, win the day. That's how you win the day. We challenge our kids with starting like that, and then everything leads to listening to your parents at home, doing your chores, what you're supposed to. Discipline. Be disciplined at home. You're gonna be disciplined here. Be disciplined at home. Be disciplined in the classroom. Disciplined in the classroom. Be disciplined here.
Mm-hmm.
If you go away from that, then it's not gonna work. So every little thing that we do, every little thing that you do outside of here always translate to what you do on the field too here. It's not just about your play, it's about being disciplined everywhere else, and then everything translates on the field when you come across that gate onto the field.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. Being that it translates to the field when you come into the gate, what it means to be a Mountie?
Well, listen, obviously tradition here it runs rampant here. We have some of the coaches on our staff that played here in the past, and that's what I want. I wanted some old school Mounties to teach our kids what it is, what it means to be a Mountie, what it does, how you wear that on your chest, how you pride yourself as to being a Mountie. There's been many greats here and did some well things on this field right here, and we want to try to instill that into our kids as well too. Again, when you step across that fence to come on this field, it's all about Mountie pride.
Mm-hmm. So with Mountie pride, and then you also had some greats. You mentioned the greats. Some of them went on to the pros and did great things and came back to the community to contribute the way they are doing it now. Do you see a lot of that within the community when you do your community outreach?
Well, hey, one of the top Mounties to ever catch one of the biggest balls on the biggest stage of football is David Tyree.
David Tyree, yeah.
So David Tyree's back in town now. So David Tyree's been helping out with our younger youth kids. Mm-hmm. Okay, David Tyree just had a camp a couple of weeks ago down at Glenfield, the new Glenfield field over there.
Right.
Again, it's all about giving back. Quintus McDonald just had a camp as well too. So Quintus went on to play at Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Quintus is a bit heavily involved here now as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So and once again, now we have our new field. Josh Allen, starting to have his football camp next year as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars right now.
Oh wow! So you got some guys coming in
Yes.
and contributing, former Mountain greats, all-staters, big wide receivers, gone to Power 5 schools and so forth, and did very well, even going to the Super Bowl. Coach, I want to say, that I will definitely see you on the campaign trail somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Mainly the East Orange game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mainly the East Orange game, but I might pop up at one of the West Orange or Irvington. I know you got those guys, so you got your hands full with these guys. It's going to be knock 'em, sock 'em, rock 'em here. You guys just walking around with a chip on your shoulder. Is there anything that everybody should know about Montclair, and especially you as well as a coach, that they should look out for? Have any ideas who's going to be on the up and coming as a senior, or anybody that you want to promote?
I mean, listen, we have a lot of young talent here. We're a young team, and it's all about learning here. And with the up and coming talent that we have, obviously there's somebody like David Tom Rogers, one of our top receivers here. Sonny Brown, one of our top cornerbacks.
Right.
We got up and coming junior Jihad Battle. He's gonna be playing a lot of receiver for us this year. And Yasin Latham, nice running back. Jakai Chance, another running back. We got a 1-2 punch there.
Okay. Of course, you got the quarterback that you just brought in.
We have obviously Malachi. We could throw the ball.
So and what about on defense? Who's going to be the star to look for on that side of the ball?
We got a young man on our edge, first team All County last year, Kyle Wilson, defensive end. TK Jimenez. He's another young man. Came in from New York, defensive end tackle.
Jimenez has a lot of motor on him, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Another young linebacker, Richard Williams. Another young man to look out for. So we got some talented kids here, man. And you're gonna hear these guys' names quite a bit.
Okay, Coach. Well, thank you for stopping by. I know this is a very big day. This is media day for the Mounties. One of the few solo media days outside of the big Jets SEC media days that's coming up very shortly in about a week or two. So we look forward to seeing you on the campaign trail. And thank you for coming through to the KSPORT Coach's Corner.
Appreciate it.
And Kerry here coming, and this is Kerry here. We're going to be stepping aside, and we're going to come to you next on our list of coaches that we will be talking to is none other than the legend himself, Darnell Grant, and then maybe we can catch his brother, Paris Grant, at Hillside. So we'll see what happens next. Until then, let's go have some fun. KSPORT.